My name's Andre, and you are watching Pepper's Echo. This is the live echo. And welcome this evening, or this afternoon, to many of you in South Africa. It's still afternoon at 2 o'clock. 7 o'clock here in Cambodia time, Cambo land. Yeah, time to go to sleep already. But yeah, I have been lying down for so long. We seem to have been a little ill of late. But nevertheless, at least the heat is down, and what can I say? What can I say? We're up and away. I hope I'm live on the right channels and that everybody is doing well. So first of all, yes, this is the everyday channel of the everyday man in the street. And I'm trying not to push politics on you at all. I'm trying just to keep it light. But if I may ask you, please, if you do watch, if you're watching a rerun, if you're watching live, please like and subscribe. That's the only way that I do get the Pepper's Echo out there as well. And if you would like to come on the show, if you would like to have a certain topic discussed, anything to that effect, etc., etc., etc. Ordinary man in the streets, you don't need to be some popular person or anything to that effect, although I have my reservations open for Putin and Trump at the moment. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, but yeah, anybody with something that you would like to chat about, or if you would like me to look at something or chat about something, because at the moment I am just sort of sitting back and generally running the chat on everyday things. I do not do the politics anymore. I must say that the biggest politics that you can actually follow is Chris Wyatt in Durban, Africa, or Chris Wyatt Africa. Take a look there. He is really up to scratch with what is happening. And then, of course, then there is Ramon Morningshot. He's doing pretty well there. And always a good watch is Ronaldo Coast. He's really, really good on his side there. I haven't actually caught up on this one for a while, but then there's also Joey Emilio. He seems to be getting quite a few guests and things at the moment. Me, I'm stuck in the bat cage. So, yeah. Anyways, let's take a look. We can start off and say, in the good old RSA, if you do find that any of your utilities are broken, heaven forbid you have it repaired. Heaven forbid you have it repaired. Let's take a look at that water. Now, I think water is one of the most precious commodities in South Africa. My dog's having fun. So it is one of the most precious commodities in South Africa. And there it is, pouring out of the road, pouring out of a manhole in the road, pouring down. And of course, we don't have enough water, and we're needing to gain for rain, and then it's down this way and it's down that way, etc., etc. And houses are being cut off and everything. And what has happened is an 82-year-old gentleman in Gauteng is a pensioner. This happened, and he phoned, and he tried to contact the city of Johannesburg, and no luck. Mr. Atwell, he's what, 82 years of age. So in the end, hello, Izzy. In the end, he goes and hires a professional plumber to fix the leak. The city of Gauteng then slaps him with 185,000 rand bill when he went to ask for a 30,000 rand payment because he had it fixed for them or repaired for them. So guys, get a hold of your ward councillor, as Ronaldo said last night. Only once the city doesn't answer do you go to your ward councillor. So yeah, get a hold of your ward councillor, or do anything, but whatever you do, do not, I repeat, do not try and repair it yourself. 185,000. The lady was helping basically said, sorry, you know what, the city had to bill me because I decided to fix the pipe, adding that I had left the water gushing. He should have left the water gushing. That left me kind of gushing along the I know there's something I wanted to show, and I wasn't sure if I should or if I shouldn't, but I'm gonna, because I'm a bugger. I know there's everything going on about the Ukraine and everything at the moment, and I can guarantee you, and I don't want to be able to talk about politics hectically or anything to that effect, but this one's got to happen, because I've got to show you something. The American advertisement for their military and Russia's advertisement for their military. Let's just take a look at the difference. I need to share with sound. How do I share sound? Share audio. Let's send that one there. See if that comes in. Right. Take a look at this.
And speaking of something good, I'm now going to show you an ad from the Russian army. And this video went viral, as I said, because somebody looped it together with an ad from the American army. And it's an incredible, just a truly incredible juxtaposition of the way one country behaves in a serious manner and in the way another country behaves, unfortunately the United States, in a completely unserious manner. This was retweeted by all sorts of people, including Ted Cruz, and then of course he started getting called a Russian asset and everything else. So first let's show you this Russian army video.
Это первый день твоей новой жизни. Что ты знаешь о себе? На что ты способен? Вопросы могут остаться без ответов, но разве ты сможешь узнать себя, познать границы своих возможностей? К черту границы. Ты готов ломать себя? Да, потому что без врага нет боя, а без боя нет победы. Главный враг вчерашний — ты. Твоя задача — выследить врага, догнать его, превзойти, стать лучше, чем он, и вернуться назад. Победить.
All right, I don't speak Russian, but I assume he was saying something to the effect of, you know, we're serious people and I've got to go do something and I'm fighting for my country and that's what we're going to go do. I also think Dan Snyder? Zack Snyder of Justice League probably directed that thing. You can see, you don't even need to know exactly what he's saying to understand, and whether you think it's propaganda or not, we can have all of those debates. But what you're seeing is the Russian government is putting out an ad saying, we want soldiers, we want to be able to defend our country, we're going to do what we got to do. Now, allow me to show you what the U.S. Army put out last week.
It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms. I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. Standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class. I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
We're screwed, people.
Yeah.
You get it? You get it? Like, can you imagine that Russian guy coming up against that girl? No offense to that girl. No offense to her lesbian mothers. No offense to the marching. No offense to equality. No offense to any of that. But if you give me a, East Village lesbian versus Vladimir Putin, who's going to win? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Okay, yeah. It's a bit of a what are we doing type thing. I can just imagine the South African ad for a military. They're like the little impies running across, riding in the tanks. And I don't know what you would do. Little rainbow flags on their Roy Cats. Talking about how far things have gone, or how, I should say, extreme things have gone. Take a look at this next, it's not a clip or anything like that, but just this next piece. Schools. There's been a call in South Africa, by the way, to update schools. To schools to update school uniforms to make it more general and neutral, gender neutral, more gender neutral. Let me get that right again. Not good today. There's been a call to update school uniforms to make it more gender neutral. School uniforms. I ask you with tears in my baby blue eyes, which I do not have, which they shouldn't be having at school at the moment. You were a girl, you wore a dress and a little gym or a shirt, and if you really wanted to, you could wear grey pants. And if you were a guy, you wore grey pants and you wore a white shirt, and that was it. Now they are wanting to have the uniforms made more general neutral. The Department of Education needs to update its school uniform policy and make it more general neutral, because a Cape Town school has been supporting a transgender girl who has decided to wear a dress instead of trousers. Experts say the current uniform policy enhances segregation. Well, Buzzy, I don't think that is the gender neutral one. I don't know how you are going to put a gender neutral uniform in order, but maybe we should have our military uniforms more gender neutral, so that if you were a transgender infantry, you could wear a skirt instead of trousers, and we could maybe go into battle with tights. I have no problem with these people. I just have a problem that they are shoving it into schools. We've got kids that are at the ages that decisions aren't properly. I mean, you can't even have, or not supposed to these days, have sex before the ages of 16. But you can decide that your gender is not right before the age of 16. I don't know, shoot me if I'm wrong, but yeah, maybe somebody feels differently. You get to the army. Did you come here to die, soldier? No, sir, I came here to die. Yeah. Okay, but so as I say, shoot me. I really don't know what the hang with school uniform. What's Buzzy say? It was a girls' school. Oh, I don't know if it was a girls' school. Transgender girl who decided to wear a dress instead of trousers. I don't know. Maybe it was a dude who's decided he's a girl who now needs to wear a dress instead of pants. I just don't know who's going to wear the pants in his relationship, because, well, it's probably not up to pants anymore these days. Anyway, let's take it away from South Africa a little. Remember, there seems to be something in the air, something bugging El Quino. Ah, hello, Linda. How are you? Lovely to see you. And Buzzy, I don't know why it just comes out as wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. I know it's a wave. I know it's a wave. But yeah, the Queen. Something's been bugging the Queen of late, apparently. Yes, the Queen apparently has got Mrs. Rona who's visited her. So it shows you don't even have to be the poor peasants. The rich and shameless also get up to the Mrs. Rona. So, yeah, she is unfortunately been hacked by that. And if you can take a look there, it's not a horse next to her. That is Camilla Parker Bowles, Charles's squeeze. And yeah, apparently the Queen has given the nod for Camilla Parker Bowles to take up or go in as Queen when she steps down, or when she steps hectically down. But yes, the Queen has given her blessing on that, whereas she was going to have nothing to do with Camilla Parker Bowles before that. There they are, riding in their chariot, which reminds me of a little one day, old Van. He gets to win a prize to take a chariot ride with the Queen around Buckingham Palace. Wow, and this fantastic occasion, and Van gets taken over, and he's over to England and that there, and he gets into the carriage with like 6 horses with the Queen, and that was he walking, trotting around or being drawn around the Buckingham Palace, and one of the horses just in front of the carriage is getting a little bit windy, and one looks around. A few minutes later, everyone just carries on as normal. Eventually, the Queen's now quite embarrassed about it. She looks at Van and she says to Van, she says, Van, so embarrassed, I'm terribly sorry. Well, Van looks at her and he says, don't worry, Queenie, I actually thought it was one of the horses. So yeah, staying with the Brits. Oh my goodness me, staying with the Brits. What the hang is up with Boris Johnson's do? Really, he is the, I mean, even Cyril Ramaphosa's do isn't as shocking as Boris Johnson. I think Cyril Ramaphosa is smooth from being greased, but anyway. So yeah, it doesn't matter if he's at a wedding, as you can see, or being whispered to by his wife. It's probably the shock of his wife was, but his hair always looks like he's woken up in the middle of the bloody night, shocked after having a dream like I did of braaiing about 6 times. I woke up this morning and my wife said, well, how about we braai this afternoon? I said, hell, I've been braaiing all night. There's just no ways I can actually find meat anymore. So, but anyway, it just looks like he's woken up. He permanently looks shocked with life. He looks devastated. You know what? So, Mr. President, what is, Mr. Prime Minister, so what is the severe economic, and he's like, I'm devastated. I'm devastated. Yeah, I'm devastated. It was a little bit of a surprise. If you come find people from overseas, they talk about South Africa, and they often talk about, you know, what do you ride? Yeah, Boris, Dorothy. I'm a little bit worried about my hairstyle. I haven't been out for a while to go get my haircut, so I don't suppose I can talk very much about old Boris if I'm looking like that. So, so yeah, what are you thinking? Boris the Doris. Yes. But no, I don't know. My wife is just waving ferociously. I don't know if she's just being a fan or what. Yes, yes, I'm reading. Hello, everybody. I'm reading Buzzy. I've greeted, and I don't know. Wife is telling me to behave. I don't know what I did to not behave at all. I tell you what happens to you. No, you don't behave. You're trying to go on a diet. And wife says, well, it wasn't me. Let's put it this way. Let's put it in third word. Talk about behaving. Van and his wife go on a diet. And his wife says, okay, but we have one cheat day a week. So Wednesday is cheat day. So Wednesday evening, his wife rocks up with a packet of cookies. Van rocks up with a hookah. He obviously had the wrong idea of cheat day. But anyway, let's not go there. But what I'm saying to you is usually South Africans, when you look from overseas, they always ask, do you ride lions? You know, are there lions and tigers walking around in the street, etc., etc. And it was on the N10 just the other day between Kraddock and Middelburg that this occurrence was seen by a good old trucker. Let me see if I can actually get the sound in there for you as well. I'll put that in there.
Hey, madoda. Nayi ngonyama, nali bhubisi, Kraddock. Mawubheka ngaseMiddelburg.
So what walks around our streets?
Hey! Singilandele. Singilandele, ngaze uyidle.
This is
Bafethu nihlala ngaseKraddock.
on the
Ngicela
N10,
nibheke bafethu.
Saturday evening.
Yo.
Just come strolling onto the road. Okay, that's all that he got of it, but
Hey, madoda. Nayi ngonyama, nali bhubisi, Kraddock.
you stop the noise. There we go. So yeah, and this comes strolling up along the road. So what happened? They had a huge fright. There was a lion that escaped seemingly and was walking along the roadside. Remains a mystery how the lion escaped, but in the first place, but perhaps he wanted to live life in the fast lane or fast lane. But yeah, or maybe he was just looking for a ride somewhere. Somewhat either, the N10 is now operating well and the Curious Cat has been placed under a more watchful eye. However, that reminds me of the time that we had some Canadians come and stay with us from, Canadians obviously from Canada. And they were really, really quite astonished that they could land on a tarmac with the airplane. This was like end of the 80s type of thing, so it wasn't a long time ago or anything like that. But they were like astonished that they just landed on tarmac, and it's like, what's the matter? I said, well, no, we expected to see Land Rovers and Jeeps racing ahead in front of the aeroplane, chasing the wildlife off the path so that the plane could land. And like, no. Airstrip, plane, Boeing, ding, ding, ding. Thank you for flying SAA. We're pleased we didn't crash. But talking about crash and burn, and talking about militaries, there are so few of our, how should I say, of our tanks and airplanes and goodness knows what that are left in South Africa. There are even less left in working condition. But I suppose with going green, there's a little bit of footage that was taken on Saturday morning. And it's, what was it, a Roy Cat from the South African Defence Force? And I'm assuming it was jumping into the grass, going green, doing its thing, whatever, etc., etc. But yeah, take a look at this one. Driving along, and then next thing this Roy Cat passes you, but it suddenly gets hungry and it moves towards the lush green on the left-hand side. Yes, can it hold out? Will it hold out? It's gonna. Okay, the South Africans have got one less Roy Cat. They have no idea what made it go, take it out, or made it go uncontrolled. But yeah, the few vehicles that the SANDF had left are now fewer. It's just people driving past. I'm not even going to go into that one over there. But yeah, the few vehicles that are left there are now fewer, because on the better side of life, the Roy Cat decided to go and graze some grass. But that is not the only thing. South Africans are really, really going green with their vehicles these days. Cars are going green. They're mad about the grass. The rain has had a good feed. Blowout. It's a Roy Cat, I don't know how many wheels have a blowout, and then it come charging past you, and yeah, well, I suppose that it was responding to a call. But yeah, Elon Musk and his green cars and that have been quite a thing that's going up these days. And South African cars are also going green these days. I really, really must say, I'm impressed when we take a look at the green that South African cars are going to. If you take a look there, you will see the Volkswagen Polo grazing very lusciously just over the fence on its green grass. And on the right-hand side, there is a Lamborghini busy taking a clump into its cheeks at the moment. It's really hamstring away those green grasses. So I must say South African cars are really, really going green. Social media users, they've been left absolutely shaken, not stirred after the photo. Yeah, is it in East London? Well, East London is starting with green vehicles there, guys. Their DVDs just said it. That is in East London. Green soap, Buzzy says. Yeah, green soap. Yeah, it's the green soap. South Africa is going green. But yeah, social media was a buzz. In the photos, the driver actually in the Volkswagen Polo actually took hold of her new car and drove it straight out of the lot, straight over. You can actually see in the background, it's still in the VW dealership, and she drove it straight through the bam. I don't know if it was just a car that was like going for grass, going for green, go for gold rather, but anyway. But yeah, and it ended up there. So did the dealer take her out on a registered test drive or go over the controls? Apparently, there was a Porsche dealership that was sued. A Porsche driver was paralyzed in the same way, and the dealership was held liable because they did not go on a test drive with him or go over the controls of the vehicle. So yeah, I hope they went over the controls, and either that or she bought the wrong lucky packet for a license. But the car is going green. I tell you, South Africa is going green. If that's not enough, because if you think it's only the Polos, check your Lamborghini on the right. It decided to take on a truck. Now, I don't know if it was a Lambo truck, but it was apparently on the KwaZulu-Natal R102 near Phoenix, about 11:08, also Saturday morning. I don't know if the moon was out on Saturday morning or what, but it's alleged that the truck traveling next to the sports car suddenly veered into its lane, resulting in the collision. Now, when you're in a Lamborghini and you are busy doing the, how should I say, the 200 mile an hour, and a truck comes to overtake you, move aside in your Lamborghini so that the truck can go over. You never know, the driver might be a weekend taxi driver. Buzzy, I must take a look where those, where's that soap thing is, the green soap. You sent it to me on Messenger, I think. I don't know if you, because that was brilliant as well. That goes like really, really well done with the green, yeah, that green car. Buzzy has an excellent one. Let me see if I can get into it over here somewhere. Yeah, it was on Messenger. I'm in my wrong. Now I know what Ronaldo and feel like when they're going to look at something. Like, hold on, chaps. I'm just looking here to the right. And now I'm on the. I think I got it. Yep, I think I got it. Let's see if we can share this. Let me just stop there. Courtesy Buzzy's Moments.
Do you feel like women do not love you? Do you feel like
I'm not sharing it. Sorry, I'm like watching it, enjoying it here by myself, and you guys are like, whoa. We can hear it. There we go. Big explosion. But
do you feel like women do not love you? Do you feel like you do not last long? And do you feel like you cannot talk about it and it's embarrassing and it's affecting your marriage? Well, I got news for you. Use Green Bar. Green Bar also comes in 3 different colors: green, and limited edition green. It's made in its long, rectangular-shaped rectangle for those hard-to-reach places. Ingredients: water, green stuff, soda, salt, a package, and more green stuff. Green Bar can also be used for fitness purposes. I mean, look at Dave without Green Bar. And this is Dave with Green Bar.
whoa.
With its green power, it can kill 99.9% of germs, bacteria, diseases, mosquitoes, cockroaches, and your mother-in-law.
Why do we have
Green Bar can also be used for security purposes. This is Grace Lugabe. I thought an electric cable was the best weapon to use until I discovered green bar. Green bar is the perfect weapon. Even baba child vanga kutocomplaina vachitoti ndikupedza tambo dzavo dzemagetsi. Even masacha yavo ndakandatora tambo yemagetsi. But vakantaura kuti ani zvake ani akauya kwauri ndinomuuraya ndikamunyeka because ndiri munhu waMwari.
Green bar soap is available at all leading retail outlets and mshikashikas and vendors near you. Not forgetting the tuck shops.
Thanks, Buzzy. The green car bar. Yes. But anyways, something else that I ended up taking a look at. Oh my goodness me. Especially after we're looking at green and things like that, I thought to myself, oh my, how can you put something like that onto a TV or a show or whatever? The man has just pulled his tumor onto there, or even worse. But no, apparently it is a strawberry. The world's largest or record strawberry. No, the guy's holding it like a berry or a little sack of berries, but it's actually one berry. Oh, one berry, two berry, three berry, go. But yeah, 289 grams. It has 18 centimeters long, 4 centimeters thick, and has a diameter of 34 centimeters. Belongs to Ariel Chai of Israel, and it weighs a whopping 289 grams. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the world's story of strawberries. Something that has changed in South Africa. Change is in South Africa, change is inevitable. And something that has changed, I'm sure you have seen it. I've only seen it on the news, but I'm sure the signs that are up as well already. It's the sign of the times. MTN is changing their sign from white and yellow and blue to black and yellow. It was not enough black in their sign, so they had to change it. I'm kidding. Don't crucify me. Apparently, is part of it. So I'm trying to translate, because I've got Marula Media that I actually got this one off, and it's difficult to sort of read and translate. But it's part of the strategy of their telecommunications companies change over to a technological group that has called for the change of a new look and feel of the cell phone provider, to change from its blue and red and yellow and white to black and yellow, because there was obviously a little bit too much white in the sign. As I said, you really just need to read the signs. Even MTN isn't going to do that. So what we also spoke about last week was not even Parliament jumped loose from what we got to do. And the Cineville Fire Department decided to donate a brandbestrydingssleepwa, a fire-arguing drag wagon. Okay, it's just fire trailer. Decided to donate a fire trailer to the Voortrekker Monument. Seeing as Parliament is busy going down and up in flames, it seemed that they needed to urgently get something to the Voortrekker Monument, because I think that was on the list next. Well, there we go. Parliament's off Cape Town. We're now moving Parliament to Joburg. There we go. We don't have to take those trips all the time. We can just get in our cars, and the whole escapade will take us to Parliament. We went down. Next, that ruddy Voortrekker Monument must go. Next thing, Cineville Fire Department said, here's a trailer, fire trailer for you. The only thing is, The Foot Tracker Monument has now started a backup buddy to raise money for a Toyota, not a Ford, a Toyota, to drag that little thing around. Okay, but anyway, they were apparently very, very chuffed, and they also got brandpakken, burning packages, and maskers and brand blussers. Okay, so brandpakken, what's it? Fire suits, masks, and fire extinguishers, amongst other things, were also donated. So I think they were kind of expecting, as if we're not expecting, the Foot Tracker Monument, guys. I'm not one to predict. I'm not a sinner or anything anyone claims. But that monument, dude, the sun does not shine through a magnifying glass. Nothing sets a light by itself in there. But when smoke starts coming out there, yeah, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying, don't say I didn't tell you so. But yeah. Moving from hot moments to other moments that could make you a little bit hot under the collar, I went on to a little bit of, I think it's the Daily Maverick. I found this one on, I was taking a look, and reminds me so of, I don't know what you do these days, but how do you stop your kids from catching you in that awkward moment? So they've got a couple of suggestions for you. Number one, with young kids, you put something outside your bedroom door, such as a soft toy, to remind the kid to knock. I can see, you know what, no, little kiddies coming along, there's a little stuffed elephant outside your door, and it's like, oh, I've got to knock because dad's knocking more. Anyway, it's a knock toy. This means I've got to knock. So I don't know how that's going to help, but yeah, it says put something outside your bedroom door, such as a soft toy, to remind them to knock. Don't know how that will do it. Kids these days, but yeah. There's another one. Warn your teens that if the do not disturb sign is up, it means your bedroom is out of bounds. Even a sock on the door handle can work. That's university stuff, people. When I hang my tie on the door, you know, then I'm getting more than what you are right now, so don't come through this door. Now, if you tell it to your teenager, you can imagine the vomit building up in their throat as they notice the sock hanging off their parents' door, or the bra hanging off their parents' doorknob as they walk towards it. Yeah. What happened to locking the door? No, it's new age. You don't want to offend. You cannot knock out. You now need to put a soft toy to remind to knock, or a do not disturb sign, or a sock over there. Number three, show affection outside of the bedroom too, so it doesn't seem too weird to your children. Mom and dad are just going into the room to become a little more affectionate than what we usually outside, okay? Right. Explain that when grown-ups cuddle, it's their alone time. Oh my Lord. That is going to be such a problem for child police or something like that. So where did the ugly man cuddle you? Did he cuddle you like a grown-up, or did he cuddle you like a... Mom and dad are going to go and cuddle. No. Anyway. Arrange dates when your kids go to sleep over at a friend or relatives, and the whole night is given over to you for romance. There we go. I'll say no one. Get the little bastards out of there. Then you can run from the kitchen to the dining room to the bathroom, all through bedrooms, and up and down the passage. Distract the kids for half an hour. This is the best one. Distract the kids for half an hour by organizing a treasure hunt. So you spend the whole night, the previous night, writing up a treasure hunt in the garden. Or here's another one. Or even in the event, scattering Smarties will buy you some time. So I can see you running into the front garden with this like pack of Smarties. Wena, lapofet Smartie. Husiki, 2.5 minutes. I only need 2, but they're going to get those Smarties. Yeah, right. Remove the outside. Remove the outside door handle of your bedroom. I can see you wanting to come out, and the door handle comes off, and it's like, honey, we can't come. Why? Well, like, it took the outside off, and the inside one's come out now too, and it dropped out. Honey, fetch a screwdriver. Yeah, mom and dad are finished cuddling. Yes. No, you need. No, you don't have to knock. No, kick the toy out the way. Just give us the screwdriver so we can open the door. Yeah. So yeah, of course, for some couples, romance faded along with the arrival of the first baby, so it's not an issue. But it's never too late to reinvent the love and adjust your tiny neighbors. So yeah, that reminds me of one of our Pity. His mom and dad decided it was time to adult cuddle. And so they sent him onto the front porch. And then 20 Pity, go and play on the porch. You stand on the porch now. And they're into the room, and they're into the intimacy. And a little while longer, he said, yeah, Pity's being really, really quiet. So dad shouts from the room, he says, Pity. Yes, Dad. He says, what are the neighbors doing? He says, the neighbors are having sex. He says, whoa, Pity, how do you know that? He says, Yanni's standing on the porch as well, man. Well, yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at National Milk Tart Day. Oops, wrong tart. Sorry. National Milk Tart Day today. So, Buzzy, if there's something you need to be a little bit hungry about again, I think last time you started making slop chips, check this one out. Today is a National Milk Tart Day today. So, kry daai terte en sit die koeke weg. I would kill for some South African milk tart right now. If I could go and find an old tannie on a farm or in an old age home and buy the ingredients and tell it to make it for me, and she can just hold her hand above the milk tart, because the shaking will shake enough. What's it, Caneel? Good for my diet either. Yeah, let's have a cheat day. Okay, no, wrong cheat day. But yeah, so let's stick to keeping it to National Milk Tart Day today. So apparently the 27th of February is National Milk Tart Day, ladies. I hope you spoil your husbands, yourselves, your families with milk tarts. Let's get that one into screen again. So a lekker stukkie taart, hè? En laat dit jou hobby see 'n stukkie taart. Yeah. So I was also taking a look the other day, and I was wondering what you thought of this. You get these online dating apps. These days, I mean, remember, dating used to be in the old days, the opsit cash. I don't know what it's in English. Sit up candle. You light the candle and you can visit with your boyfriend until the candle's burnt down or whatever. No, you know, we used to go to movies. We used to go to have an ice cream together, etc., etc. These days, time has moved so fast, and it's seriously sad to a certain extent, because we live in instant times. Everything is just instant. It's excuse me, instant food, instant milk, instant mash. Everything is instant these days. Instant messaging. Email doesn't exist anymore. Telegram sends files like that, and 20 people can send you files at the same time, and it doesn't even take time to come in. Buzzy, you're making me hungry now. I don't have the ingredients. My daughter makes it with amarula. That sounds absolutely phenomenal. Where's my wife? Woman, go and make the tart now. Yeah, online dating sites, okay. But so these days, it's an online dating thing. Everybody just, you know what, I met online, we met on the internet, etc., etc. And I watched a program called the Tinder Swindler And it's about this guy, the chap here on the left, Simon. He named himself Simon LeView or something like that, and he was the son of this diamond mogul. And then these ladies, first of all, this one and this one, they got mixed up with this guy. This guy would you know what, he'd like, if you get to watch it on Netflix, the Tinder Swindler, it's like unbelievable. So I'd like to know from you, who is actually in the wrong here? And it's just a thought, because they're all on this like now rampage and escapade to this dude, and these ladies will bring them to you closer just now again as well. But we're on this rampage of like, we've got to ruin this guy's life. He has, and yes, he has absolutely taken them for a massive ride. Absolutely taken them for massive rides. For the one he took for a $250,000 ride, and the other one I think was 100 and something thousand, more than 50,000. Just to get you onto the article a little bit more, Simon basically, after he was exposed on media, he adopted the alias of David Sharon for a while, but they used me in my life. Okay, Simon has been banned from Tinder following the success of the Tinder swindlers. Cecile, Cornelia, and Aileen set up a joint GoFundMe page to pay off their debts and managed to generate more than £50,000, which is 1.025 million rand in the first 3 days. Their goal is £600,000, which is 12.3 million rand. Okay, but basically, the first lady, the one in the pink there on the right-hand side, she swipes right and she sees this nice guy and he looks rich and everything and he's hot and whatever. And she's like, oh, I like you. And wham, there's a match. And next thing, there's like, I'm a businessman, I'm very busy, but I'm in London at the moment. Meet up for coffee before I go at this and this. Yeah, sure. Off to the, I don't know, some really, really expensive hotel or whatever where they serve coffee, and he has coffee in that. And he's like, you know what, I'm on my way to Bulgaria. Grab your passport and everything, and you come with me. And he's, you know, in the talk, he's like, oh, you know what, my little daughter and her mother and everything is there. And but she, you know, we're not together, but they taking the plane. And she then thinks, wow, this is great. She goes home, she packs, she gets her passport, bam, onto a private plane. You don't do that. I mean, you don't even get into an Uber car with an Uber driver. Obviously, he's probably too poor, you know, and wouldn't use a private plane to hijack you, I suppose. But anyway, anybody, I mean, trafficking these days, I mean, how easy is it to get someone onto a plane if that's the easiest? But she's onto a plane and it's, I love you, and it's there and everything. And then afterwards, send her back. And then, you know, I have enemies and we've got this deal that's going down and I've got my bodyguard, and in the end, it's like, oh, I need money for this. I can't use my card. They're tracing me over here, and then she flies her here, and she flies there, and they're all the richest and smartest of places, and money is just flowing. And then it's, oh, you know, I need so much cash, and just lend it to me. I'll give it back to you. And you know, she has no doubt in her mind that he will, because they have just flaunted through the most expensive times ever, to the point where she's given and given. He opened up a credit card in her name. And said, send me that credit card so they can't trace me. And he used an American Express gold card, swiped that to pieces as well, and to 250,000. And I think he walked in somewhere along the line, gave her a check and everything, and left. And then the check wasn't being cashed. And the more she's trying to get hold of him, obviously, the more she can't. And he's saying, well, you can't do anything about it. It's been written, all kinds of stuff. There's one point that he actually had sent her a picture of his bodyguard that looks all cut up, and they're in an ambulance, and someone tried to stab him if it wasn't for his bodyguard. And it ends up the same picture and the same story was sent to the second lady, because what happens is he's doing this, and as the one is sending him money, he's then flaunting it and spending it on the other. And then so on, and he's rolling it, and he's using tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars and not getting them paid back. My question, and then the third lady, let's make it a bigger for you again there. This third lady has actually been his girlfriend for like excuse me, 14 months already before she found out that when she saw this, because they eventually took it to a newspaper that they've got to expose this guy and this isn't right. And these like, oh, you know what, how can they do this to me? And I'm just thinking to myself, how can these ladies do that to themselves? Thank you. Sorry, I just need some. I mean, don't you think that there's a certain amount of gold digging going around? If like on the first coffee date, come with me to Bulgaria, and then next thing they're flaunting and throwing money all over the place, so things are just going to great. And of course, this is what you want, because you're wanting the money, not the love, honey. And when you're following the money and not the love, you're ending up with a serious problem. So basically, he was caught in the end because that last lady actually had him caught. I think he was caught in Israel, if I'm not mistaken. He was eventually caught by Interpol. In Israel, sentenced to 15 months in jail for fraud he committed in Israel because they couldn't do anything else about the rest. And he was released 5 months later on good behavior. And he's now living in Tel Aviv with his model girlfriend, working as a business consultant. He can't be prosecuted for his crimes in other countries unless those countries or Israel extradites him, which they haven't. And after Simon was exposed in the media, he adopted the alias David Sharon for a while, but has since taken back his notorious identity. He continues to deny any wrongdoing. It's what he borrowed, it's what they gave him, it's what they lent him, is basically what he says. They used me for my life, he says in a 2020 interview. They got expensive gifts and everything. In other words, gold diggers. When I asked help, they agreed to help, and they know what I have some problems. It's all fake news and lies. Simon has been banned from Tinder and several other dating apps. Following the success of Tinder Swindlers, Cecile, Petnelia, and Aileen have set up the GoFundMes, which I've said. Cecile lives in London. She works for a software development company. She's also the founder of Action Reaction, a non-profit organization raising awareness about fraud and aims to create a change in legislation and help the victims to get proper help, both mental and judicial. I hope they teach the ladies not to run after good-looking wallets. By all means, go and date the guy. Have a cup of coffee. Meet him first. But when people start putting hundreds of thousands onto you, or tens of thousands onto you, so that in the end, when you need to be asked for the money, you're like, well, I suppose you bought me a car, I'll give you that. It doesn't work so well anymore. So Simon has vowed to share his side of the story and has threatened to sue the documentary makers for the defamation. Peter, who hasn't faced, or Peter was supposed to be the bodyguard guy, he hasn't faced any legal action. He's filed a lawsuit saying that the portrayal of the show has caused him mental distress and violated his human rights. And the women are, however, happy about the documentary. But I just really, I don't really watch too much of this kind of thing. But yeah, it's it just begs the question these days: how do we date these days? How do we date these days? It's, you know what, do we look at pictures, look at bank accounts, look at cars, and obviously the one lady, his last girlfriend who found out, who was actually getting him back, who got him to be arrested in the end, she got hold of his clothes to sell it because he only wore designer clothes and that. And so you can see this guy's designer clothes, designer everything, you know, look at my sunglasses, check out my shirt, everything like that. And you immediately go, that's for me. That's for me. I don't know. I don't know whether it's 100% his fault. I don't think it's right. By all means, I don't think it's right. But I don't, by all means, think that the ladies were so misled as what they were blindly following. Money. Yeah. Linda said it there. You first get to know someone. You go on coffee with them, maybe with a double date. You go to the movie, that's the darkest room you go to with somebody that you know, not onto a private jet to Bulgaria with them. You know, you're going to have supper. You meet a few friends. You see what friends suss out. A lot of them suss out the friends. I was looking in the articulate encyclopedia of the National Women's Highest Information Gaining a Revelation magazine, the U magazine, on the one letter that was written into the aunt. And it's like, I don't know why my friends are all jealous about me, because I met this guy, and I think it was also on the internet. I don't know if it was Tinder now or if it was somewhere else, but and he's like a great farmer and everything in the Whole Foods, and he wants me to come over there to him and that. And my friends are all like, no, this is, you're taking a chance, and how do you know, etc., etc. And they just jealous. And I'm like, you know what, lady, don't even try and psychologically analyze this. You're stupid. If a man who has that much money likes you, he gets in a plane, he flies out, books a hotel or guest house, stays in Cape Town or wherever you are, visits you, dates you a little bit, and then goes off and you chat and everything a little bit, and then maybe you can go and visit him, stay in a separate guest house, not on his farm or wherever, etc., etc., with a return ticket, visit him and see, before you do this like, oh, well, I'm just going to pull in because all I saw was designer clothes. I saw wallets, I saw presents, I saw rich, I saw famous. I didn't see, oh, I was supposed to be looking for love in this instant world. We have, you know what, we look at arranged marriages, these, and we say, how bad can that be? When arranged marriages are sort of like put together, Indian families, I don't know if it's Muslim or Hindu families, whatever. But anyway, families that arrange marriages, I don't want to actually connotate it to a religion, but and we say, how bad is that? And we take a look how the world is arranging relationships these days. There is no dating. There is no getting to know each other. There is no getting to know the parents, getting to know the friends, getting the feel for each other, actually seeing if you're mates. I mean, listening to a thing on Louis Malarba the other day, and a couple of other things that we have listened to as well. Even through the word, I didn't really like that one too much, but it wasn't too bad. Who kept on saying, you know what? But Louis Malarba says, you've got to be friends. You've got to be friends. So basically, before you start dating, you've got to be friends. And you've got to know that you're going to stay friends throughout your life. It doesn't help you friends now. It doesn't help, you know what, I will marry for the money and I'm sure I'll get to like him afterwards. He can't be all that bad if I get all that good. I don't know. Up to you guys what you think, if it's good or bad. I just, you know what, I'm just so blown away by this instant world, instant noodles, instant milk, instant relationships. It's blows me away. From going back to, school uniforms being gender, should say, what was I looking at earlier on, being gender neutral for kids these days. Where are the days? Where are the days where, you know what, you were scarred for life because you went to watch Dirty Dancing? Now it's a cartoon or something like that. Yeah. Those days are gone by. Those days are gone by. They say the Russian ladies these days, they don't ask for sex anymore. They look at you and say, Putin. But anyway. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm going to say thank you very, very much for watching. Thank you very much for chatting. Let's get a story. Linda, I met Philip online, but it took 18 months to get to know him before he met being a couple. There we go. Sadly, let me put it to you this way. That is fine. Because sadly, in the race these days, and once again, the quick and instant way of our lives these days, we don't have time. The internet and dating apps, etc., do make life a little bit easier for us. but it doesn't, as you say, it doesn't remove the period, as you say, the period of getting to know each other, making sure you're compatible, becoming friends, making sure you're happy as friends. Because, you know, money isn't everything. Love will pass away, but friendship keeps you on that path. And it is so vitally important. And yeah, it's fine. I agree with what you're saying, and that you can meet online, and at 18 months is what you said. That's nearly 2 years of getting to know each other before you actually become a couple. That is still genuine. You know, you're not like the same night on a plane, or within 1 week you're like checking a pregnancy test and stuff to that effect. Although you're only 16, 17 years old, but you've just been on a date type of thing. I can go into things a little bit more scary and a little bit more detailed, but I don't want to actually run into that point as well. But yeah, you know what, the people will do it the right way. You can make a connection, but you've got to make sure that you build a friendship and you actually get to know each other, yes. And then you can make the right connection. Love paves the way, friendship keeps you on it. I will leave you, Buzzy. Let's just put it this way. I haven't mentioned anything on the show, but I'm still very positive. But a friend of mine actually mentioned it the other day, and it said, a woman's loyalty is tested when a man has nothing. A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything. Makes sense. A woman's loyalty is tested when a man has everything. When a man has nothing. A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything. Yeah, kids online, another can of worms. That's the problem. That's the problem. But guys, I am not going to stick around any longer. I have lingered like a zombie. Thank you so very, very much for everybody. Buzzy, for your prompting and sending and promoting. It is so happy I really, really appreciate it. I couldn't believe it. My show was still waiting and had 2 likes on it. Linda, it's been absolutely wonderful to see you. Buzzy, I think you had, you should have a spanner by your name or something like that. And I think Yendo as well. I tried to get them sorted out, so tell me if you didn't get it. But yeah, take care of yourselves. Don't wait for the testing. Stay friends, be good, take care. As they say, if you can't take care, at least be good. Cheers.